Hi, welcome to World of Braiding and Extensions. My name is Joy Fido and welcome on board. Okay, so today we got something really exciting for you. We're going to talk about wigs in this video. Remember, we did a video recently telling you all we knew about wigs. Today what we want to do is compare wigs and weaves. So wigs and weaves compared. Now, why are we comparing them? Because both of them are hair extensions. So hair extensions, it's in your face, and now you are making that decision, which one should I go for? Okay, what do we do here at World of Braiding and Extensions? Our plan for you is to inform you. We call it KISS, which is knowledge, information, and skills. So we guide you, we give you information, we give you knowledge, and here again we give you skills. So all of these three are always the reason we come on screen and want to chat with you. So today we want to inform you and give you knowledge about how you should see wigs and weaves, and give you informed choice for which one to go for whenever you're deciding on your hair extensions. So if you're seeing the background where I am right now, I've got so many things going on. They're all coming to you. They are information that we want to guide you with. So why are we interested in wigs? If you are new to this channel, you will see me wear different types of wigs from time to time. And if you have been watching this channel, you will know that most of the time I wear wigs. So that's me. Now, I have a huge passion for wigs. Why? For me, they give me instant image. So if I wanted a particular look, which you also know if you've been watching me, I could just go blonde in one day and go red in another day. Same day I could wear any color I want. I could go short, I could go long, same day. I could go bob, I could go straight, I could go crinky, curly, I could go any texture, any length, any style I want instantly. And that's what comes with wigs. But one of the things that people have struggled with wigs is they're worried. Will it fall off my head? Is it safe? Will people know I'm wearing a wig? Because that was the biggest problem years ago when our mothers wore wigs. And you could just tell that this hair looks so plastic and it just sits there, it doesn't have any movement. So times have moved on from there. And now we came up, the industry came out with the synthetic hairs, which was what we were all wearing until the natural hairs came in, or the virgin hairs came in. And then we started seeing that happening in so many different ways, which I will be showing you as well. So it's about you knowing what it is. And I know so many people out there who are still so worried. I don't want to be seen wearing wigs because people are going to laugh at me, or it's going to fall off my head, and all the usual long talk I hear. And so people like that rather choose weaves. But I'll give you the balanced understanding. So there will be instances when weaves are okay, and there are instances when wigs are okay. But for me personally, wigs is it. Because I can recall that the only time I've ever worn a weave is just once, and I did not like the experience. I mean, I give weaves to my clients because I know what I'm doing. But most times, if you're into hair and somebody is trying to do your hair, you're really fussy because you want to be sure that they know what they're doing. And so for that, for me, wigs are just taking the position to allow me to create the design I want in my hair before I put it on. And it's really interesting because years ago when I was a lot younger, I remembered wishing that I could. How come we're not in a position where we can take our head and put it down and style our hair and put it back up? And the answer came with wigs. So it's been the best thing for me, because in as much as I have my natural hair looking as amazing as I want it to look, which I've shown in so many videos, probably will show you again today when I take this off and show you some of the things I'm going to be doing. I still want different looks. So why would anyone choose wigs? We mentioned it in the other video, but there are times when people really hate the hairstyle they've got, or they haven't got a good stylist around them, or they're having problem with their hair, or they have a health problem like alopecia, or when people are undergoing chemotherapy for cancer treatment. So there's so many reasons why you will struggle with your hair. And there are instances where people don't fit in to a certain expectation or image. I mean, I don't know how many people out there who would say they've never experienced or heard about somebody who went for an interview and suddenly they were told they couldn't get that job because they didn't fit in. I mean, this thing still goes on even in school, primary school. Children are being sent home because they wore a particular hairstyle and they should fit in. So sometimes when you just want to fit in and get it out of the way, don't want to argue with anybody, you just wear what they're expecting. So that's where the wigs come in. But of course, the weaves now became the thing that most people preferred. Why did they prefer the weaves? Because it was stitched onto a cornrow base. There are instances, there are times when we will move on to what we call hair extensions, where there are so many different things that happen. The tape and the micro rings and all of that. That's not what we're after today. We're after the wigs and the weaves. So the weaves, you stitch it on the cornrow, and again, it could be any length. It could be any length, it could be any color, it could be any texture. Now, where wig starts to go wrong is when people want to create the most natural image, the natural hairline. So let's say you have natural, afro hair, and then you want straight hair for a weave. What do? This is where people then end up relaxing their hair or putting chemical in the hair to change its texture in order to match the texture of the extension they want to put in. And sometimes what people do, just the hairline, they go and relax the hairline, leave the natural hair in the middle, just so that hairline will blend in with the weave. And then people were losing their hairline. People were beginning to have problems because the hair in front is now dying or breaking and getting unhealthy, while the one inside is okay. And there were instances where people are struggling to there are instances where I've seen people who have really beautiful curly hair and then they want straight hair, or people who have really straight hair and then they want curly hair, and so they want to make sure this is matching with their hair, or they want you to stitch this weave to give a natural look. Now this became a really uphill task for most people, most stylists, because how do you change somebody's hair that is really straight into curly without having to mess around with things? So then we had to create the full head of weave. And when you created the full head of weave, what tended to happen was, how do you break it such that the natural hair comes out the hairline comes out natural? And so most of the time what we ended up creating was what they called, we created the Americans call it the bang, and here we call it the fringe, just so that the front is covered and nobody sees what's happening there. So it was really confusing. So weave has that problem. But my personal problem, I'll start breaking down weaves to you. Weave, the person has to sit down there, your client has to sit down there, and you stitch that hair onto her head. Now time is involved, because the time the client has to sit there and you have to put this hair on. So you have to be there for that hair to be done. It takes time to get it done. It is stitched to the hair, to the client's head. Now people struggled a lot to wash their hair when it's in weaves. And then you have issues where if it's being washed, what then happens is they don't know how to blow dry this hair, so the heat actually gets to the scalp. So you find some people will just blow dry the hair just at the top, and then the scalp is still very wet, and what happens is it starts to smell. Maybe when they were trying to shampoo it, the shampoo didn't really get to the scalp, so the hair is smelling, it's getting moldy. All types of things are happening, and I've seen all types. This is the problem that comes with weaves. Now, people who wear weaves will tell you, I've heard this with most married women, or most women, I don't want to be taking out my hair at night so that my boyfriend or my husband sees my scalp. I want him to have this image of the hair on my head. And so for that reason, they don't want anything that puts them through the inconvenience of having to take something off, show off who they are, and then in the morning change that. No, I want it to be consistent. So consistency is their problem. And then what then happens, some of the problems again with weaves is you take it out, so it doesn't matter how much money you bought those wefts for. Once you put it on and then you've gone to sleep with it, okay, we'll tell you use the do-rag to tie it, get satin scarf, get silk scarf and all of that. Once you've taken it out, there's no likelihood you can reuse that again, because that hair has matted and sometimes all types of things has happened to it. I'm the kind of person that likes to protect hair and save it, but 3/4 of the time to recover that hair, it's a problem. So it doesn't matter how much they bought the weft, it is gone just after one use. So the hair is thrown away, so that wastes money. And there was an instance, this is an interesting one. I have some clients who, again, because of the types of jobs they do, they say to you they don't want anything that there might be an accident of the hair falling off their head, which is a wig. So what they then tend to do is they'd rather you stitch it onto their head so that they feel comfortable with it. So we mentioned the thing, so waste of money, waste of your time. No matter how expensive that hair is, you have to throw it away after the use. When you wash your hair, your scalp never really gets clean. So those are the problems with weaves. But it's something that people have to take on, and they take it on. And again, the worry is, will this person do it right? Because it is very clear that there are instances where, how I explained how to get that natural hairline to look healthy, and sometimes we're trying to change the textures, and then the textures are not matching, and then you end up creating a style maybe the client doesn't want, which is creating bangs and so hairstyle may not be exactly what you want. So that's the weaves. Let's go into the wigs. Remember, I've said to you how wigs for me are the best things I'd rather have. So wigs could last you up to 2 years. From 0 to 2 years. That's to me like the least time a good quality wig will last you. So that's you saving a lot of money. So no matter how much money you may have invested in the first instance of buying this wig, now think about how many times you have to go and keep putting these weaves on. Most of the time is about 90 days. That's what we recommend most of the time. Sometimes it's about 6 weeks for some people. So let's say you bought that weft, 50 pounds, one weft, and then maybe you're using 2 or 3 wefts or 4 wefts in some instances. Then that's already $200 or 200 pounds depending on what it is. And then the cost of your client, the stylist putting the hair on, so it could be from, depending on who is putting it on, you could be looking at between 150 pounds to, or $150 to maybe 200, 300, 400 pounds some places I've heard. And so all of that money added in, so 200 plus 400, let's say we'll go to the top of it. And 50 pounds is very cheap hair, because I know my clients who are buying their wefts for like 200 pounds for one weft. So let's say we get 3 wefts, 200 pounds. That's 600 pounds already. Plus, let's say another 250 or 400 too. So that you're looking at 1,000 pounds for some weaves. But a wig, no matter how much money you bought it for, let's say, I know some people out there. One of my students who is amazing with her wig creation, and she charges $200 and $2,000. So from there, calculate that back. Let's say you're keeping that wig for 2 years. That's what it is. So you save a lot of money with you just getting this unit and taking good care of it. So let's look at the maintenance. It's not stuck on your head. So when you go and get it conditioned and shampooed and taken care of and treated and styled, all of that is not on your head. It is done on a mannequin head, and hair is well taken care of, and so you don't have to be there. So you are not there when the hair is made, if it's custom made. somebody orders it for you, factory made, you are not there. All they do is get it for you, fix it, style it up, give you all the treatment it requires, and then package it and send it to you. So you don't have to be there. And so your money is saved. You don't spend too much money on it. Your hair is saved for as long as you want it to be saved, if you have a few more units, not just the one. And then your time is saved. So all in all, you are better off with a wig. I recommend this to so many people, and people are still so worried about, what if it falls off my head? But you know, like I said in the last video that we had, there are so many things that you can add to your wigs that it would not fall off your head. And the newer versions of wigs, remember I said when our mothers wore it was all stiff and sat in one place. Newer versions, this is one of the wigs I created. Newer versions, you can get whatever length you want. You can get, I mean, we color them like I colored the tips of this one. We color them to whatever you want, you know, all custom made. Whatever color, whatever length, whatever texture. And you know, you can get the natural feel to it. You get the parting. Sometimes you get like the 3-part. So 1, 2, 3. And so you can lift the hair to like a side parting. You can have a center parting, and you can have the other side parting. And then there's now this 360 degree that you can actually lift the hair up, and it's all showing very natural. So wigs have really moved on. So my advice, giving you this information, is for you to think about your decisions. I know there are instances where maybe your job may demand that you don't want to take any risk, and accident happens and something falls off your head. But without that, you will be better off just going for wigs. So it's something I wear all the time. It's something I love wearing. It's something I'm very comfortable with, and that's why I'm guiding you about it. So I hope this information has been useful. If you liked it, share it with your friends. Give us a thumbs up. Follow us on all our media, Instagram, Facebook, and then of course feel free to make your comments down below. We will be talking more and more about wigs, and we'll be showing you how to make your homemade wig as well. So we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much, and God bless you.